What's going on, guys? It's Nick with the Hungry Handgunner. So real quick, you guys ever had a topic where you could have sworn you knew the right answer, you spent your whole life hearing one thing, you just knew for a fact that what you knew was the truth, only to find out that you didn't? It's kind of embarrassing, right? So for me, that was, I grew up my entire life for some reason thinking that BMW stood for British Motor Works. I would have bet an entire paycheck that that was a British car company. And then, like, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, I found out that it's actually Bavarian Motorworks and it's a German company. So pretty embarrassing, but I was grateful for the new knowledge, right? So if that's ever happened to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. So there are very few topics in the firearms world that I find that a lot of gun owners and non-gun owners alike have a Venn diagram overlapping section of misunderstanding or even straight out ignorance. So there's no shame in not knowing something, right? The only shame is if you have the opportunity to learn something and then refuse to do so or refuse to acknowledge that newfound knowledge or truth. So the topic for today is going to be hollow points. Why people carry hollow points in their guns. So for a lot of you guys, I know this is going to be redundant information. It's something you already know. That's cool. This is mainly geared to folks that either are just getting into guns, aren't into guns at all and just want to understand, or just whoever's bored and watching my videos. So I'll go ahead and show you guys my carry gun is a Glock 19X. Go ahead and make it safe. Magazine out. No round in chamber. So this is my carry gun. This is what I carry for self-defense. You guys have seen it that have watched the channel before. I do a lot of shooting with this gun. Awesome. But anyways, what I carry in it are hollow point rounds. Let's see if I can get it to focus there. They have a hollow cavity in the center. Now there's different variations where it's just the straight up cavity. There's some that have a polymer filler in there to keep it from getting clogged as it goes through whatever. So the big misconception with these hollow point rounds is that they're designed to be lethal. You know, I've heard people say even an ER team can't fix the wound. They're designed to kill. That's it. And that's only part of the equation, right? So if the round, what a hollow point round does is it expands when it impacts a soft target, whether that's a fluid target. I've seen them expand on sand, dirt. They expand. That cavity fills up with foreign material and forces the bullet to expand. They're designed that way. You can actually see on the tip of that round, if it'll focus, it has some pre-segmented marks. Now, these are Federal HSTs. The company Federal designed them that way so it would be a very predictable performance under a lot of different scenarios. So the round expands, it slows down. It limits the penetration. Now, as opposed to the more common type of ammunition, which would be a full metal jacket round. Now, full metal jacket round is just, it's the same thing, it's a 9mm, but as you can see, the bullet has a solid jacket of copper around it. And that's designed that way for a reason as well. These are typically less expensive and they are good target rounds. That's what a lot of us use to practice, target practice, things like that. They penetrate further, and ballistics gel, just in general, the bullet will go further. So in a self-defense situation where that bullet is not deforming, most likely they can still deform, but most likely the bullet is not deforming. So it's going all the way through that threat, and then you have the increased likelihood that it could in fact injure somebody else. That's not what you want. Typically, if you're using deadly force, you're only going after the person that's a threat to you. You don't want to be getting somebody's kid, innocent bystander, somebody's dog, or even property damage. A hollow point round can still overpenetrate because life's weird, but the likelihood of that round doing that is much reduced with the hollow point design. So that being said, yes, they can do more damage. They do by the virtue of that bullet stopping within the target or very shortly after. it is expending all of its energy in that target as opposed to passing through and possibly injuring somebody else. So yes, they can do more damage, and that's part of the equation, right? If I'm stopping somebody that's a threat to me or my family or an innocent bystander, I do want to stop that threat reliably. That being said, I also only want to be imparting that deadly force on that threat, not somebody innocent standing there. So that's kind of the why with that. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I want to give a very big shout out and thank you to the sponsor of this video. Joe Darrow actually made this video possible with a financial contribution. If you would like a shout out for either yourself or a business, go ahead and look in the description. I'm going to have a link to both my PayPal and my Patreon if you would like to do that, and I can get with you on that. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. There's going to be a little bubble coming up on the lower right-hand side of your screen. Go ahead and hit that. That's a subscribe button. And then you can make sure you turn the bell on, and you can get notified whenever I come out with new content. I try to do at least one video a week, sometimes more depending on what my schedule allows. So I'm going to be doing more of this stuff that's kind of redundant for a lot of us, but it may be helpful to new gun owners or even people on the other side of the fence on gun ownership, just helping them kind of understand fact from fiction. So thank you again for watching. Stay safe, keep shooting. I'll see you next time.